Following a successful NBA draft and with free agency just days away, Masai Ujiri's been making moves about selecting the young prospects that he wants to bring into the Raptors organization and see if they have some potential to thrive throughout Summer League, potentially get a training camp invite, and who knows, play preseason, regular season. So I want to break down 3 of the guys Masai Ujiri has brought in this summer, see their potential to actually make the full roster, see if they can have an impact on the team, and what to look forward to at least in this year's Summer League. So without further ado, let's dive straight into it. Hello everybody, Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest, breaking down the newest Toronto Raptors kind of signings, I guess Summer League signings, breaking down 3 of the players. Before we dive into any of that though, a lot of people have been asking how Riker's been doing. He's been off the pods as of late. He's taken a few months off here because dealing with school on top of his work. The burnout of the season, we want to come back ready, fired up, full energy for next year because the Toronto Raptors are making a playoff push, making a little title push with star Scottie Barnes. So Riker's doing well. He'll be back. He's not gone forever or anything like that. So don't stress about any of that. But we do have news to cover right now. And the Toronto Raptors bringing in the first guy I'll talk about is a Canadian, right? Obviously, Toronto Raptors fans usually like bringing in the hometown fellas, but Abu Kigab. He's a guy that is one of the first players we're bringing in onto the Summer League roster. He's 6'7", so fits the current mold of a Toronto Raptor. He's a pretty solid scorer. He's just a solid player all around. You look at his stat lines, you look at the highlight reels of this guy playing, right? He's a guy that's, a solid scorer. He can slash. He's a strong defender, not ridiculously elite, not a game time stopper like an OG Anunoby or Scottie Barnes or one of those guys, but is solid out there on the wing, staying in front of people, right? He can use his size as a wing player, as a shooting guardish guy at 6'7". Lots of strength on him, can finish inside the lane, can slash, can do a lot of things out there. So he's a player that's sort of a jack of all trades for the Toronto Raptors. He's also a pretty solid shooter, nothing too crazy, nothing that's going to blow you away in terms of stats. You look at them here for his throughout his college seasons. His last year of college, 15 points per game, shot 30% from the three-point line, which isn't that nice, but got a steal in there, got 6 rebounds, 3 assists. So those are some solid stats for a guy that you're bringing in, you're taking a flyer on in Summer League. 6'7", versatile, played the full, he was a 5th-year senior in college, so an older rookie, not a lot of potential there's definitely potential for any rookie coming in to grow and develop their game. You saw the stats, he improved every year in college, but he's a guy that I think, if he can prove that in one of those areas, right, you need to be solid in at least everything to be an NBA player, but to really make a roster, to make a team, when you're one of those Summer League guys fighting for a position, you got to excel at one of these areas. So for Abu, if you're watching the Summer League games, you're seeing this guy play, you probably want him to see if he can thrive, whether as a shooter, right? If he comes in as more of an improved shooter. Apparently, clearly at 30%, not remarkable 3-point shooting stats by any means, even though he shot a decent volume, but pretty streaky on that end. If he can come back as a solid 3-point shooter, paired alongside the rest of his game, that could be encouraging, right? If he can come back as just a ridiculous defender, we saw what Gary Trent Jr. turned into this season as a monster defender out there on the wings, staying in front of people, getting all those deflections. If Abu can come in and sort of have one of those skills just at an NBA ready level, right? An elite NBA, maybe not super elite, but just above average NBA tier, then the fact that he's sort of solid and everywhere else, that's a potential guy you can look at to make the roster. Obviously, Raptors fans, they always got a sweet spot for the Canadian players. This is the first guy I sort of broke down in this video, but looking at his scouting reports too that break it down, he's inconsistent. He can hoist up some questionable shots, so to speak. That's the direct quote there. He's not a crazy slasher. He's not going to be Jamal Crawford in breaking people down, crossing people up to get inside the lane. He's just a solid all-around player, right? If you get those 2K builds, just all-around guy, and that's who you're sort of bringing in with Kigab. And I don't know, you're always cheering for the Canadians when they come in. And he's an above-average athlete. Obviously, that's what Bobby Webster, Masai Ujiri, they love to sort of see in young prospects. So if you can do everything pretty solid and maybe he develops one specific skill, who knows? Maybe he'll be fighting for, obviously Harper got the two-way, so he's guaranteed going to be on the squad, but fighting for those positions. Maybe David Johnson, whoever else is going to be on the Raptors Summer League teams. But that's the first prospect. The second one is Trey Porter. Now, this guy played overseas. The sources are coming out. Trey Porter signed a Summer League deal with the Toronto Raptors, but he's a 6'11", 6'10", 6'11". I've seen mixed reviews on the height. Big man that's apparently a very energetic rim runner. And that's what the highlight reels, that's what the highlight tapes have sort of said about Trey Porter. Catch the ball, can drive in, is a little bit solidly mobile as a defender, 6'10", 6'11". Obviously over that 6'9" height that we became accustomed to from our Toronto Raptors last season. However, he's not a young prospect by any means. He's not a guy that's going to be coming in and you're looking to develop. He's 26 years old. He's played college. He's played overseas. Played his last season in Bulgaria and had a solid season. Nothing gonna blow you away. Players sign in Summer League contracts. Averaged, what is this stat? 10 points per game, 8 rebounds down there. Got a couple of blocks, but European stats are usually deflated just a little bit. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, but from all accounts, he's a solid rim runner, an energy player, an energetic guy that could potentially, if the Raptors need another big man, he's not 7 foot. I know the inches don't matter that much, but he has a bit of size. I think it might be tougher for him to crack the roster, crack a rotation space for this Raptors team. However, if he can show that the energy is brought and shown at an NBA level this year's Summer League, potentially training camp. The Raptors love those types of guys, and having a lob threat for Scotty Barnes to drive into and throw the ball to. Fred VanVleet improved his facilitating game last season. I guess he got the work done in the offseason. Can't have too many lob threats, but I think Koloko is going to be a guy I'm excited to see catching those lobs and throwing down some nasty dunks next year. But Trey Porter is an encouraging guy, but this next player has me a bit more intrigued, has me a little bit more excited, gets me going a little bit more, and it's Alexander Barcello, as obviously a Summer League player that you can't invest too much into, but Alexander Barcello played for BYU, Brigham Young, so lots of comparisons to Jimmer Fredette there, but 23 years old, again, not a young rookie by any means, 6'2", shooter coming in from BYU. The Jimmer comparisons are always being made to these short white guards coming from BYU, but he does have some interesting stats. And out of the three guys, the three main players we picked up for the Summer League contracts, obviously Ron Harper Jr. made a whole video on him. Koloko's going to be playing on the Summer League team. I'm probably more excited about those two guys, but the reason I'm intrigued about this Barcello guy is he has an NBA skill. He has an NBA ready skill right away. Coming into the league, averaged 17 points per game, 3 assists. Nothing too crazy for college, not even a steal per game, but shooting 42% from behind the arc, from behind the 3-point line, and shot 47% from behind the. Let's double check those stats. That box score is tiny, but it looked like 47%. Yeah, I'm not tripping. I'm not mistaken. 47% from behind the 3-point line in last year's season. In 27 games, that's a solid sample size, right? One of the big knocks sort of on Malachi Flynn coming in, being a guard that was trying to get minutes on us last season, is just wasn't hitting his shots when he was getting the opportunities. And, he's a solid facilitator, but if you're a small guard and you can't shoot in the modern NBA, you got to be elite in other aspects of your game. The shooting is so important. So Barcello can come in and prove that he can be a sniper off the bench, be a Peyton Pritchard-esque player, right? Pritchard hit some big shots this year for the Boston Celtics in the playoffs for that team as they made a finals run. If he can come in and sort of have that impact, obviously Jimmer Fredette was a failure in the NBA, but it was notoriously one of the great shooters throughout the Chinese Basketball Association, right? If he can be one of those smaller guards that just knocks down shots, can be a decent facilitator and not absolutely horrific on defense, he's the guy I'm encouraged to look out for this year in Summer League. We need shooting on this Raptors roster. It needs to happen. So, if we get it throughout the Summer League, I'm breaking down some free agents we could potentially go after that could fix those holes in coming videos. But if we can get it through Summer League on a cheap contract, let's make it happen, Masai. But those are the three guys I wanted to sort of break down and for Summer League. Obviously, when you know a few of the players in Summer League action, it makes it a little bit more exciting. And who knows? Maybe these guys make the training camp. They usually upper echelon Summer League players usually get the training camp invite. We'll see if they could actually make the roster, the preseason roster, and make it throughout the season. So you heard about them here first. You heard them this summer. We'll see how they end up panning out, but you guys are the best for making this far. Let me know in the comment section below which prospect that you guys are most excited to see play. Check out the Instagram, the Twitter, the TikTok, all that cool stuff. Anyways, enough of me rambling. You guys are the best. I'm signing out. Cheers.